trainer who had a runner in tonight, looking to head toward the Melbourne Cup, is Kody Charles, and he's on the panel for a chat. Kody, welcome, mate.
Yes, thank you, James and George. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, tonight didn't go to script from box number 5, but she hit the line well, and I guess from a trainer's perspective, you would have been happy with the run. She now has another look at Sandown Park, and she can come back for the big one, the Melbourne Cup next week, the heats.
Yeah, that's right. We come over a little bit early because she was first reserve for the Top Gun. We didn't get a run there, so we brought her here last week and gave her the trial. And she went 29.49. I thought she may have trialled a little bit quicker than that. She trialled really nice back home at from Perth since she returned from Sydney. And but she got through the week well, and box 5 tonight, I knew we were up against it a little bit. She's not real quick early. And yeah, she was squeezed up pretty much straight away. The 4 and the 6 pretty much sandwiched her out, and then went through the first turn. The 4 checked off heels and sort of give her a good smack. And I reckon she would have been 8 to 9 off from down the back. And I mean, she's finished at the back, but she'd probably go 8 and 4.5. So she hit the line all right, and hopefully we can get an inside draw next week. And
encouraging signs, no doubt about that. When I did a little bit of research in regards to you, Kody, I thought we're going to need probably 2 or 3 hours to have a chat with you because you've just been involved in so many different facets of the 3 racing codes. Talk to me about training a winner, they tell me, in all 3 codes. How have you possibly managed that? I dream of it sometimes, and then I think, well, there's no way I'm doing that. How have you actually done that?
Yeah, well, I was raised. My parents are from the harness background, so I was born into racing. Just got racing through your blood. Love horses, love the dogs, love a punt. More importantly,
we all do that.
Yeah, so I started as a reinsman early on in the early days, and just had a love for the greyhounds. And as I got older, I used to help a guy called Mike Bate that was mixed up with Keith and Jody Harding. So they had some really nice dogs back in the day in Perth, and that's how I sort of learnt me craft. And then once I sort of gave up the harness racing driving, I just switched to basically the dogs, and I had a number of shares in gallopers. Thought that was a bright idea, and then one went on the market, and I thought it'd be another smart idea to actually buy it. So I bought this thing off Luke Oliver in Melbourne, and it come to Perth. Realised I didn't have a licence, and we got our licence, and away we went with the gallopers. But didn't have too many there. I found that was a bit harder because you're always relying on someone else. You're always relying on someone turning up and actually riding the horse and stuff. But we did get a winner at Northern at 50 to 1, and I think I had 7 or 8 starters in the gallopers, and we moved on from that. But yeah, it was a good experience, and nice to say that you've had a winner in all 3 codes.
Now, Kody, I'm betting that you've watched this replay 1,000 times. We showed SAIGE TENNIELLE earlier winning the National Sprint Championship. Tell us your feelings to win a race like this on interstate soil against the boom greyhound that was Postman Pat, obviously, and Aussie Rocks and Tinker Norm. Tell us about this thrill. I mean, she got to the line so well against some very, very good greyhounds.
It was incredible, George. It was really hard to even imagine the story that this dog come from. Was I've said it 100 times, but we'll say it again, that she broke in Sydney and didn't really break in at all, really. So they sort of said, probably sort of move her on, but we decided to bring her home, and I re-broke her in again, and we got her going. And I mean, the first 20 starts, I think she only won 3 races. And then all of a sudden, the penny just dropped. We went to, I think the night she won at Cannington in 29.69, I already had her nominated for the Monday at Northam, and everyone sort of said, you should be going to Melbourne with that dog. And I thought, she's only won 4 races now, and she's in at Northam on Monday, and we went there, and she absolutely smashed the clock there, and went into the final of that, drew a sticky box 6, and didn't go any good. And then it was just a late-minute decision, really. Come home from the dogs that night from Northam and decided to nominate her for the Nationals. And she drew box 8, and I don't think she'd won from outside box 5 in 14 starts, and she won from the 8 and
run down a good dog in barbecue, man.
Yeah, yep. And that was incredible. And then we went on to the final there, and then went to Melbourne, and to come and have your first starter at the Meadows and win was incredible.
Group 1 too.
Yeah.
Tell us how close she was to spending the rest of her time on the couch.
Yeah, she was so close. She was so close. I put an advertisement up on the Greyhound data page and said,
I'll take her for you now.
Yeah, that's right. Don't worry, I've tried finding that ad to delete it so no one comes back to me. But she was out there for people to take, and no one took her. So we decided, by the time she goes through the gap system, I think it was a longer wait here, so I decided just to bring her home and play with for a couple of weeks. And her name's Lulu, and I actually had a girl that worked for me, and I said, you can name her because in 2 weeks' time she'll probably be yours. And she named her Lulu, and she still hasn't got her hands on it. She's still there, so and she won't be getting her hands on it.
It's an incredible story, and I think it gives hope to a lot of greyhound racing owners who have 1 or 2 that aren't exactly performing. You said just a moment ago you're a reinsman, so a harness racing driver. How do you go sitting behind the boxes without any control of the race? Do you sit there and do you still put the whip in the right hand and try and cheer them home?
I wasn't much good, James, so I probably didn't have any control then. But I've adapted to it pretty well. Yeah, no, it's really good. But you put the dog in and just hope for the best, really.
Well, as we let you go, mate, do you dare to dream now? You're 2 weeks away from potentially winning a Melbourne Cup, doing the Nationals Melbourne Cup double in the greyhound racing game. Do you dare to dream?
It's free to dream, and we will continue to dream. But obviously left a little bit disheartened tonight. But she's pulled up well. So I had a few little issues before we come over, and we thought we ironed them out, and things were good. And so she trialled 2 times back at home. Obviously, trials don't really count, but she did do 380 track record, come out and did a post-to-post track record. So when you look at that, she is fast. She's just, I mean, at these boxes, she's actually going in and putting her head up and looking around a bit. So hopefully next week, third look here, hopefully inside draw and just get a clean run. And she's strong, and she should be better for next week again. So we just got to hope for a little bit of luck, but certainly not a hell of a lot of confidence. But we're here now, so we'll continue to press on.
Well, Kody, we love the story. Every part of the story, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. So good luck ahead the next 2 weeks at a crack at a Melbourne Cup here in Melbourne. We wish you well.
No worries. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Well, there we go. Kody Charles, trainer of SAIGE Tennielle'le. He's daring to dream with the Melbourne Cup just a fortnight away.